AITA for not chasing after customers who have forgotten wallets, sunglasses, keys, etc. in a restaurant when they tip me below 15% by username plowstuffer. I don't know why that's funny. I am a server in a sports bar. When I come to a table of mine that recently closed out, if I notice they left something behind on the table, like their sunglasses or their wallet, I always check the tip first before deciding what to do. If they tip under 15%, even if I see you in the parking lot, I will take your item to the manager's office. Under 20, if I see you in the parking lot, you'll get your item. If I don't see you, I'll at least go outside in the parking lot to see if I see you. Over 20, if I see you in the parking lot, you'll get your item. If I don't see you, I will try and find you, and if I see you, I'll run over. Does this make me an asshole? And then they put an edit because I guess it got initially downvoted. To clarify, company policy is that items left behind are returned to the manager's office, lost and found. And the subreddit found him to be an asshole. Anthony Big Money. What say you?
I gotta be team server. I think he's not the asshole. You forget to tip, I forget to get your item. Even if someone stiffed me and I saw them, they weren't even out of the store yet, I would wait till they were gone, then I would take it to the lost and found.
Oh my, so wait, you go farther.
I'm petty, yeah. It's like, because I feel like it's really disrespectful and people have a lot of opinions on tips, but whether you like it or not, America's a tip culture and that's how we do things. So
right.
If you disrespect me by giving me a bad tip, you forgot to tip, you forgot your stuff, you're a forgetful person.
Okay. Oh, wait. So I just want to clarify. So I tip you under 15. So
yeah.
Let's say 10, though. I still tipped. You see me. I'm still in the restaurant. I'm waiting over by the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not grabbing you.
You're just going to take it right to the manager's office.
Yeah.
Brutal. Brutal rule.
So one thing I will say is it is possible that this server was a bad server and that's why he got the bad tip. It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, is it possible that there's a lot of servers out there that don't know they're bad? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think with any job, any profession, there's people that don't know that they're bad.
That's true.
And also, I think people usually think they're experts when they're not, and usually people think they're amazing when they're just okay. I think that's just human nature.
There's studies where they'll say, like, they'll ask people, they're like, how good are you at your job? And like something like 90% of people are like, yeah, I'm in the top 10%. Yeah. It's like, well, okay, mathematically. Well, we do have some comments here. The Gromper writes, you're the asshole. This is the top comment. Just because they don't tip doesn't mean you shouldn't have the common courtesy to chase after them.
I think that's a fair point, but I disagree. I don't know that running out of the store to get someone is above and beyond. I don't know that that's common.
Running over isn't chasing after someone, I agree, isn't common courtesy. I'm trying to think of another situation like a retail store. If you leave something there and an employee runs out after you, I would not be like, you have done the bare minimum. This is what is expected. I would be like, oh my God, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I'm sorry you're a wage slave, just like me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a horrible job. I expect you to hate the customers and pretend you like us. And
that's what I do. I'm 100% pretending. And it's really funny because sometimes managers will talk about genuine connection and genuine kindness. And I feel like as long as you're faking it, who cares? I don't know you. You're just a stranger who I want you to give me money.
Right. It couldn't be genuine.
Exactly.
Okay, let me hit you with this little counterfactual here. See, I got a philosophy degree for a reason, so I could say counterfactual, which just means something that's counter to the facts. What a waste of time.
Brag alert.
You're my server. And let's just say, I'm trying to think of a way I would drop it, but like I somehow allude to the fact that I'm poor. I order something market price, right? So I don't know what the price is. And it's clear, you can tell, like maybe I have like a shitty backpack that's all torn up. Like it's clear that I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And I tip you 10%. Would you maybe make an exception by your little rules?
I wouldn't, only because if you don't got it and the price isn't listed, I think it's 100% your responsibility to ask what it costs. Because if the price isn't listed, odds are it's expensive.
Right.
And if you don't got it like that, you got to check.
We've talked about this before. Don't you have a market price policy?
We do. Technically, where I work, you're supposed to tell the customer the price. But I don't, because I personally find it very condescending. And so my thing is, if you want to know the price, you'll ask. Because I don't think there's any nice way I can say it. Like, say I go to you and your friends are eating, and you order the porterhouse steak, and I'm like, just so you know, that's $99. Like, obviously, I wouldn't use that tone, but like,
right. It is the restaurant policy that you would do what? If I say, so I'd like the porterhouse, what does the restaurant want you to do?
Technically, you're supposed to be like, well, just so you know, or like in a casual way, like, just so you know, this is the price.
But you don't do that.
I don't do that.
Against the policy.
Right. And honestly, I've been there for 5 years and I've never had a complaint ever.
But
And
you have had people get upset.
yeah, the closest I ever to a complaint was a customer ordered the lobster, and the lobster is $125. Everything else on our menu is pretty much like 30 to 40 range. And so I just used logic, and thankfully logic worked. I said, Miss, like, I'm sorry, but like this is literally 2 2-pound lobsters, 18 ounces of pasta, shrimp, mussels, clams. Like, did you honestly think that was going to be $40?
It's served in a trough. Like, where? That's a lot of food. I think that's pretty fair. And I'm actually going into my own experience on this, and we always ask.
I ask too.
I like your policy. I'm trying to just find a reason to not like it. And I guess what I would say is, since you work in Times Square, there's tourists there who are suckers, and this might be one of the finer dining experiences they've ever had. And then people that will lead into like the culture of Newark being like, New York fucked me, which it does. But on the other hand, I think it's a very fine dining perspective, what you're saying, because I can see like a freaking lawyer, like someone who can clearly afford it, being like, like we don't need to know the price, like almost a little slighted by it. And I think it is a more proper way. But it could be brutal to someone who doesn't know the rules.
Do you think it would be nice if I'm like, would you like to know the price? That way I put it on them. Because then they can be like, no, I don't care what the price is.
Yeah.
Or, yes, please tell me the price.
I think that might be a little more fair, especially if you detect like that they're going to be zapped by it. Like, they're wearing a Disneyland hat or something. Like they don't know what is going on. They have a huge bag of M&Ms from the M&M store. So I'm just trying to maybe attack this person a little bit more. Is it possible that the asshole-ish nature here is that they're not playing it by a case-by-case basis and that they have these rules? Or would you say that the rules would be there either way? Because like you kind of have the rule, but you've never written them out like this.
What you're saying, I'm confused by what you're saying.
Well, so this person has like written out that they have all these rules. They're very defined, right? But it's like, I guess my first question is, how do you know you got a 15% tip? Like, can you just rapidly do the math because you've done it so much?
Yeah, and plus a lot of restaurants will do like the suggested tip amount, like 18, 20, 22, and then if it's less than the 18 a mark, you're like, oh, that's 15 or whatever.
So if it was like 14, that's probably going to fly anyway, because I'm going to start tipping 14 now. So if it's a tiny bit less, you're going to be like, this guy's not getting his sunglasses back.
If case-by-case basis, say I have a table and they're super chill, super nice, we're bonding, we're making jokes, we're clicking, we're vibing, then they forget something, but they're also bad tippers. If I'm in a good mood, maybe I would chase them down.
I mean, overall, I have to say that I'm gonna concur with the verdict, not the asshole, because it's not like they're stealing the goods. You still have perfect access to your goods. You just forgot them, and that's your fault. As you said, you're a forgetful boy, and that's on you. That's that.
Let us know what you
think. Tip your server. Maybe
Tip
that's
your
the
server.
end note. Tip your server. What if they're bad, Anthony? Then can we not tip?
Even though I'm a server and I'm eating out all the time, I've had experiences where it was so bad that I leave like 10%, 15%.
Oh, I've left 0.
You would have to be pretty bad for me to leave 0. And the one time where I left 0 was I was on a date with a girl, and the server was flirting with her, and then he said, "Oh, is this your brother?" Which is such like an alpha move.
What? Yes.
And I was like, so I wrote on the tip, I said, "Here's a tip: be nicer to your customers."
That's fair. That's brutal, bro. Man, you've had some rough shit happen to you.
Oh man.